Very interesting bit of news that didn't get a lot of coverage because obviously most of the news out there right now is talking about SNAP benefits and WIC and things of that nature. But I don't know if you knew this, but finally, 5 years later, there is an actual reckoning coming for BLM, who allegedly defrauded donors who contributed tens of millions of dollars. Now, basically, everybody with a brain knew that the BLM organization was a scam, but people didn't do anything about it because, well, they didn't want to be called racist. That insult, that methodology, that hot take, that way to shut people down no longer actually has any power. People legitimately don't care. You call somebody racist now and they just say, so what? But Patrisse Cullors and her wife are now completely panicking, dissolved their joint business, selling off all their properties, but it's too late. Justice is coming. By the way, I'm really pushing hard, hoping that you will consider joining thequartering.com/join, going to thequartering.com/join and join as a member. We definitely need your support now more than ever. AI and everything kind of sucks right now. But when you join as a member, you get to talk directly to me in our chat room. You don't have to download any app if you don't want to. You can use Discord web app if you want. Talk directly to me and support the show, which I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate at thequartering.com/join. Embattled BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors and her wife have dissolved their consulting business and sold their joint LA home. While she's dropped her spouse's name, she is now freaking out, hoping, praying that they are going to say, oh, well, you have a different last name now, so we're not going to arrest you for defrauding the American people of $90 to $100 million, many people believe. That's not how it works. Details about the personal moves surfaced as Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation that Cullors helped found is reportedly now in the crosshairs of the Department of Justice for defrauding donors out of tens of millions of dollars during the country's 2020 racial justice riots. It isn't yet clear who the feds are eyeing in the probe, but subpoenas have at least one search warrant were issued in recent weeks, sources told the Associated Press. Well, I think it's safe to say that they're going to find a lot of people who stole, right? A lot of people that fired up these foundations, they weren't the smartest people. They were the first people at the grift. They quick spun up their nonprofit. They took all the money they could, and then they stole it. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to be surprised when we find out that less than 5% of the 90 million BLM took actually made it into any of the causes that they said it would. Cullors abruptly resigned from the organization in 2021 amid widespread scrutiny over a lavish lifestyle and million-dollar real estate buying binge. Among the properties that raised eyebrows was the sprawling Toronto mansion bought for by M4BJ, a Toronto-based nonprofit set up by Cullors' wife, Janaya Khan, and other Canadian activists back in 2021. Black Lives Matter transferred millions of dollars to the Canadian charity so they could purchase the property, records show. This is called 501c3 bouncing. I don't know exactly what the real number is or what the real name is for it, but it's like they just start a bunch of nonprofits and they shift the money. They throw the money all over the place in an effort to try and throw people off the track, to throw the government off the track. And usually by the time the government finds out, they just dissolve the organizations and no one goes to jail. Well, it seems like they're not going to be able to use that methodology this time. The status of the pair's personal relationship, colors a 42-year-old artist who says her work focuses on, quote, the trauma of being Black in America and about resilience, did not respond to a post request for comment on Friday, nor did Khan, who is in her 30s. The status of the pair's personal relationship is, of course, unclear. Colors, who has a son, wed Khan in 2016, Khan, coincidental last name probably, but they dissolved their LLC, Janaya and Patrice Consulting, in 2023, and Colors is no longer using Khan as part of her hyphenated last name, as she had been. Khan also transferred her portion of the joint $1.4 million home on Topanga Canyon Road near Malibu in California to Colors before the property was sold in September 2024. The rats are scurrying. They know that the walls are closing in. She held her, quote, debut solo show between the warp and the weft, weaving shields of strength and spirituality in Los Angeles last year, according to her website. It included knives and scythes adorned with shells and textiles to create what Colors refers to as a sanctuary of reflection and empowerment. How much was she paid for that? $75 million? A lot of the work that I've done has been around the trauma of being Black in America and also our resilience. She wrote in a blurb about the gallery exhibit. This is a beautiful home they also bought. The self-described abolitionist who grew up at a housing project in LA helped co-found BLM in 2013 and went on to spend nearly 6 years as his executive director. In the years that followed, Colors embarked on a real estate buying binge, snapping up 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million. She also kickstarted her buying spree in LA in 2016 when she snapped up a 3-bedroom home in Inglewood for $510,000. Just a few years after the civil rights movement she started from the Black Lives Matter hashtag gained more global momentum. Colors then went on to purchase a 4-bedroom home in South LA in 2018 for $590,000. She also bought a 3-bedroom home outside Atlanta for $415,000, complete with an indoor swimming pool and an RV shop that could cater to small aircraft repairs. She sold that in 2020. She then added the $1.4 million homestead in Topeka Canyon, short drive from Malibu in a 99.9% white neighborhood, to the mix in early 2021. Colors reportedly splashed tens of thousands of dollars on renovations for her posh pad. At one point, Colors and Khan were even spotted in the Bahamas looking for a home, a real estate source previously told the Post. You can't play with Black lives. Well, it sure seems like she did. Sure seems like she did. It's unclear if she ever snapped up a property at the island retreat. It wasn't immediately clear where Colors is currently living, though she appears to still be in LA in one of her 5 homes. Colors and BLM both faced a wave of criticism when it publicly emerged that the organization had, quote, secretly purchased another $6 million LA mansion. At the time, Colors insisted the property was purchased by BLM to serve as a meeting venue and a campus, but later copped to throwing at least 2 parties there, including her son's birthday soiree and one to celebrate Joe Biden's inauguration. I look back at that and I think it probably wasn't the best idea, she said after the news of her private parties blew up. Still, she denied suggestions she had ever lived in the 6-bedroom property or taken advantage of it for personal gain. In 2022, the foundation confirmed that some donor money had been used to purchase the $6 million pad. Separate public records also show that BLM transferred millions of dollars to a Canadian charity run by Colors' wife to purchase a mansion in Toronto for $6.3 million in 2021. I mean, what's so great about this? Black Lives Matter Foundation received $90 million in donations. Its leaders bought a $6 million property in LA. At Justice Department now probing BLM leaders for defrauding donors. Foundation response. These 2 women are going to go to prison. Like, there is no shot at all. Zip, zero, no shot that they get away from this. There's no way they have the proper paperwork. These are not people that have any idea how to run a nonprofit. And there's no way that there's a paper trail for all the money that they spent. There's none. Leaders of the foundation opened up about the finances and organizational structure back in 2022, revealing detailed accountings of expenditures. The latest Form 990 shows that BLM Foundation had $28 million in assets for the fiscal year ending in 2024, which means that they've blown through $50 million. They raised $90 million. They have $24 million left. Check that. They've blown through $66 million. On what exactly? On what? $66 million on what?
The Justice Department is investigating whether Black Lives Matter's leaders defrauded donors during the 2020 racial justice protests.
They did.
Federal officials have issued subpoenas and served at least one search warrant as part of the probe.
I mean, they did. Is there anybody in the world that doesn't believe that that's exactly what they did? You know what I mean? Of course that's what they did. Of course they defrauded donors. And I look forward to a lengthy prison sentence for them and a long refund of a long restitution period. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they are guilty, and I hope that the Department of Justice continues to go down this road and do their own level of probing. We'll have to see. Let me know what you think.